Hello, good evening, everyone. So today we have with us uh, Harini with us. Harini, she's an IAS officer of Gujarat cadre, and she got All India rank 289 from agriculture optional. So it's very a happy moment and a privilege to talk to you, madam, and also have all the aspirants, those who are going to give interview this time, and they will also be coming up with flying colors. So they need your guidance. So first, maybe 15 minutes, you can tell the basic things which you think they need to follow now, because some have like very few days, 1 week or 10 days left. Some have 1 month, 2 months, and some have not even got the uh, dates. So based on that, you can say them. And also after that, other student aspirants can ask questions directly to ma'am. Okay, please, you can start, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your introduction. So we have around 10 participants here, and interview has also been started. You would have seen interview transcripts as well. So to keep it brief and relevant for agriculture optional regarding your agriculture area only, I will give some brief insights for 10-15 minutes. Later, you can ask questions whichever you have. That could be like question-wise answers you might be needing. Otherwise, you can ask some questions on how to prepare on whichever topic you might need. So let me give you a brief idea on how to prepare agriculture-based questions for interview. Specifically for interview, you would have a static, then dynamic and opinion-based questions. So we classified it as three areas majorly. So static, matlab here I am saying, you should have some basic knowledge of what you have prepared during your mains, or what if you have been graduated in agriculture, then prepare those basics. Don't spend too much time on this. Just focus on some basic steps like what is organic farming. If the member asks you, you should be in a position to answer it with some basic definition. You don't need not tell bookish definition, but that should be some reasonably well structured answer. You should not say non-usage of fertilizer, something like that randomly. You should not say key points. If they are asking definition, you have to say it in a definition format. If they ask, what do you understand by organic farming? Then you can say whatever you have understood. That need not to be like definition kind of thing. So for static, I will say some 5 to 6 points which you might note down. So first one, which is very essential, is being, if you are an agriculture graduate or if you have taken agri as an optional, so you must be knowing what is the basic idea of production, productivity, something like this, basic agricultural statistics, which you should know. Let's say if a member asks you, what is the total paddy cultivation area in India or in your state, something like that. You prepare it for randomly 5-10 crops or something which is of current relevance, which can be like oil seeds, pulses, millet, something like that you prepare. Production and productivity. Other thing is, which are all the crops or items which we are exporting, and which are all the items which we are importing. Exporting here will include spices and basmati rice. So read some 2-3 points about it. And imports here would be like pulses or oil seeds, vegetable oils. So something like this, palm oil, you prepare on these lines. So for whatever topic you are preparing, keep a note. Prepare like for each topic, you should have some 3 to 4 points to elaborate on it. That's it. Don't prepare too much in detail. So second would be like, for example, if they are asking what is the productivity of millets, matlab, you should not say for millets and pulses, it would be less than a ton, maybe around 500-600 kgs per hectare. If you say it in tons, they will obviously know that you haven't done your graduation with full spread. So that way you should not be like doing blunders. For sugarcane, if they ask, don't say it is 500 kg or 1 ton. Sugarcane, it will be tonners together. For pulses, it will be less than tonners. So you should know at least this range. This kind of basic thing. If the board, as some agriculture expert, they might test you this factual data as well. So other than this, second one is no key definitions. For example, what I already said, organic farming, precision farming, zero budget natural farming, what is aquaponics, what is hydroponics, aeroponics. something like this. Vertical gardening is very much flourishing nowadays. Even in urban landscaping, you follow vertical gardening. So something on this line. What is Miyawaki foresting technique? So something, these fashionable keywords which you might find in current affairs, you prepare definitions for those and some advantages if at all you find it relevant for your interview. Third one would be success stories for these major current affairs topics, or which you might find it relevant. For example, we can say for preparation of these agriculture topics involves paper 1, paper 2 you should take. For ecology, you have to think what are all the topics which can be asked from agroecology, which involves precision farming, minimum disturbance, minimum soil disturbance, what is minimum tillage, conservation agriculture. These are all the topics which can be asked from ecology. In agronomy, some questions like SRI, SSI, something like that. In horticulture, they will be asking what is protected cultivation. If someone is from, let's say, Uttarakhand, someone is from some very horticulture oriented any state, if he had witnessed it, or if he had witnessed this, it as part of his administration, so he might be knowing. So something on those lines. In case of something like seed technology, he might be asking about what is the difference between private sector and a public sector role in seed industry. Something like that. You think practically what can be the question that could be asked in interview. So you prepare something on these lines. Similarly, simultaneously, you prepare success stories for few of them so that your answer would be differentiated from others. For example, if they ask something like KVKs, this interview will not be this much technical, but I am saying if you prepare some success stories, if they ask some question where you find it relevant, it will unconsciously your mind would have stored it. So you will retrieve it and tell it for the question which you feel relevant. So KVKs of Himachal Pradesh are very popular in promoting apples. So they had got so many awards for KVKs, for Krishis. So in these lines, you prepare some 2-3 examples. Also, some Padma Shri farmers are there. Someone from Tamil Nadu, like 100+ years, I think, that old woman was doing organic farming. She got some Padma Shri award. So recently also Padma Shri was given. So based on that, one person from Manipur had done fisheries technology. One woman farmer from Gujarat got award for Padma Shri for dairy sector. Something like that. You prepare. Like which are all topics which you are feeling that would add up your marks, you prepare in those lines for success stories. For example, organic farming in Sikkim, why they are so special, you think about 2-3 points, so that if any opinion based question also comes, why do you think organic farming is sustainable or unsustainable, you quote this success story there, so you will feel it very sad, you will feel you have given a satisfied answer. They also will get impressed that you have known the nuances of what is what. So some other things could be distinct differences between what is SRA, SSA, conventional farming, and zero budget natural farming, something like this. Some distinct differences which even non-agriculture person, you think from that perspective, what are all the differences that might be asked. So you prepare on these lines. These are all the static things which I have thought of. If anything else you need, you later ask in the question and answer session. Next part would be current affairs. For current affairs, whatever was there in like news this year or 2-3 years as well, which you would have prepared in your previous attempts. If you are fresher, then it's fine. No need to go back for the previous year's current affairs and you prepare for this year's current affair compilation. Maybe if you don't have any compilation which you have read already for your prelims or mains, you just take economy section of any monthly magazine or yearly compilation. In that economy section, you will have agriculture. So from there, you prepare what all there in current affairs. So based on that, you prepare that static part. And one more area where you could know which are all the topics relevant from current affairs is budget and economic survey. You search for important things in that area and prepare that. Don't do much research on economic survey budget. Just you have to know some basic or very meager figures. In depth, you don't do any research, because agriculture, maybe out of 5 board members, only 1 person might ask. That also, if you are that board person need not ask you anything from your optional or graduation. or even if you have worked as anywhere in agriculture department, he need not ask you anything from agriculture. This is a probability that one person from your board might be asking the questions related to agriculture. So don't overdo anything. Just you see budget and economic survey. Even if you don't have time also, if you are 1 week away from your interview, you just skip this, whatever I said. Even I didn't do budget economic survey completely. I am saying this is ideal preparation, what you should have done. If you don't have time, just skip whichever you have completed already. You revise them. Current affairs, this is fine. Then for opinion based questions, so they will be asking opinion based questions for sure, because India is majorly backed by 60-70% people are dependent on agriculture. Also, we have very less GDP contribution towards our economy from agriculture sector. So this is a dichotomy. So you have more number of people but less contribution. So you have to take opinions here. Don't be like taking here and there positives. Don't say pros then cons. This is not main answer. You have to say what is positive, what is negative, but finally you have to take a stand. Why you are taking that stand, that also you should be very clear. For opinion based questions, you first think for 2 to 3 seconds in mind which opinion you are going to take, or you prepare beforehand. If something is asked, for example, farm loss, even though it was it happened 2-3 years back, it is still relevant. It will hold relevance for future interviews as well. So you should be prepared for that kind of question now itself. So should you say farmers, whatever they protested was right? If you're saying right means why? If you're saying no means why? Both you should answer. You can take any stand, whichever you are feeling comfortable in that. Also, which should be rational. You should not take some random stand for something which is something which you can be judged upon. For those opinion based questions will affect your interview marks. So beforehand you prepare which side you are going to take. For opinion based questions, you would be saying both positives and negatives as well, but you should not overdo it. If you are saying 5 positives, 5 negatives and taking one stand, that means you are giving mains kind of answer. You should say these are all the because of this, I am taking this kind of stand. Also, it has this kind of negatives, so we have to work in long term. Immediate solution is this. Long term, you have to do in this kind of manners. So something like that you give. In any of your opinion based answers, you should be speaking about both sides. For example, are you for conventional chemical agriculture or organic farming? If they are asking means these opinion based questions, you have to take some case studies. For example, Sri Lanka, what it happened, why it is not sustainable. You have to give what happened with if they are asking organic farming based question means you should take that Sri Lanka example. In one of my mock interviews, I didn't quote it. We obviously know what happened there, but we don't quote it there, we will get reduced marks. Also, you have to tell why Sikkim is successful in organic farming. Why we can't simulate in entire country like India, or we can't simulate it altogether in a very big most populated country like India. Something like that. You have to compare both positive success story, negative success story here. So farmers protest I have discussed. Why in my interview they asked, I was thinking they were asking genome editing. And then the member was asking, gene editing, genome editing, we are doing everything for humans to cure diseases. But why don't we make a GM clone kind of people? But why we are making GM crops? That was his question. He didn't ask why we are for or against GM crops. His question was indirectly relevant to humans. Will you say yes to humans or no? That was his question. This was based on our agriculture knowledge. He is taking that. He didn't directly ask it. So similarly, some other opinion based questions which you might expect is MSP, should it be extended to all crops or not? So contract farming, do you think it is sustainable or do you think it is feasible? Or similarly, FPOs, we are speaking about 10,000 FPOs in this year, or formation of cooperative sector, cooperative banks everywhere. So whether cooperatives is success or failure, farmer producer organization, is that sustainable model? Is it like working properly or not? So something like this FPOs based questions would be there. And green revolution, because recently I think he died. So green revolution, did it bring any major positive impact, or do you think it was unnecessary intervention? Something like this they will be posing. These are all opinion based questions. Some questions I could think of. So majorly I covered about static portion, current affairs, and opinion based questions. So major things to remember which I would suggest is, because some of you are away 1 week away from interview, so I would say, remember, not everyone will ask you about agri based questions. Even if 1 or 2 persons are very interested in asking you, one person didn't cover some major area, other person might be asking, but the weightage is always around 20%. It will not exceed that. Some might be thinking, if we are from agriculture, it is very peculiar subject, very peculiar background. All 5 will not ask you agri questions. So you might be preparing for other current affairs based, IR based, economy, everything you should be prepared for. So brush up basics, whichever you have studied already for mains. That is more than enough. Even if you don't have time, for those who are 1 week or 10 days away, you don't brush up any basics now, because already you would have studied for mains. You can automatically save from your, it will come automatically to your risk. You don't think much about it. If you don't know if you don't know answers for any factual questions, that's fine. You say, I couldn't recollect. But for opinion based questions, you should always say whatever you know, through your pre-existing knowledge, you should answer it. Opinion based questions, you should not say, I feel I'm not confident enough to answer this. I don't have enough knowledge to take opinions. This kind of answers you should not give, because you have to give opinions. That is where you are being judged. If you are avoiding opinion based questions, they will obviously come to know that you are a person who is feeling to take moderate path. You will not make any changes in your career. So that is the main thing behind this opinion based questions. So also, those who are having 1 month period for interview or 2 months, please make notes for each and every topic which you find relevant from your agri syllabus of UPSC CSE exam. So for each and every, I told you, agroecology means what are all the topics you are thinking of. You write a list first, 30-40 topics you write. Then for each and every topic per day, you take 10 topics and write 3-4 lines about it, research something about it. In that manner, in 1 week, you will cover everything. So something like pulses and oilseeds production, which state is better, or why are we not improving upon much, why we are lagging behind. So what is the reason why dryland agriculture, especially for pulses and oilseeds, also for millets. For millets, you prepare both positive and negatives. Negatives matlab why we are not able to scale up the production. We are saying millets are very good. Then what prevents us from making it for a large scale production? For economics and agri-economics and extension, you have to prepare some examples. What are all the private sector invention in agriculture, economic intelligence, something like that. Extension is KVK, NGO, self-help group, whichever may be the question which is very rural oriented question, you always take FPO support, SHG, NGO, you have to include them in your answers. So these are all how you can think how to answer means you have to see the syllabus. Based on that only, you are saying everything. Your answer should be revolving around your syllabus, key terms for agriculture based questions. Also for green revolution, which is very important topic this year, you prepare. What is green revolution? Should we go for green revolution to sustainable agriculture? So those lines you have to prepare. So this is all the common points which you need to remember. I said for something, for some technical questions like what do you mean by genetic engineering, or what do you mean by genome editing? Differentiate between two. If some expert has come and you could assess him that is an expert from agriculture, because of the depth of question, if you don't know the exact difference, you don't say, sorry sir, or ma'am, I'm not able to recollect the exact difference now, should I try? You give some basic, because if you don't try also, they will think that you don't know even genetic engineering or gene editing, you don't know. So that might be their opinion about you. You just try if they allow. Otherwise you say, I don't know exact difference, but these all include some editing technology which might result in better production, better crop yield, or prevention of some disease, pest prevalence, something like that. For those purposes, both are for those purposes we are doing. Something like that, you give common answer. I think that's all from my side. Whatever I have prepared, I have discussed with you. Jarban, sir?
Yes, Harini ma'am, thank you very much for your like all the points which you have suggested and which will be completely very useful for them to prepare for the next 15 days, 1 month or 2 months, whichever the time. As Madam suggested, to make all the topics, make a list and prepare opinion. Because as Madam said, some are all like some questions, whatever we have prepared, they will definitely ask. So if we are able to answer them well, then we will get confidence also and to answer the other questions. Okay,